I actually think the hybrid working from home, half office has given the company more proficiency. We're more efficient than we were. I remember coming into Track when I first started. If I got out of my office once a day to a conference room with an interdepartmental colleague, that was big. Now, probably 4 times a day, I'm talking to an interdepartmental person, and we're discussing where we're going with our goals.
Wow.
So I think we've increased our efficiency by working from home 10 times.
Yeah, it's interesting to have that balance too, to your point, and you save time perhaps with the commute where you don't have to handle that on the front end or back end of your day.
I think we're getting 3 hours a day more out of people.
Wow.
And, we kind of joked earlier before we sat down here about, the efficiencies you get from working from home. And, a lot of people, you give up lunch, you give up breakfast sometimes, but people understand that they have that advantage from working from home and they don't have that commute, and they're willing to do the extra work because of it. So I think it's a win-win for both the employee and the company. I hate using that cliche, but I've seen our efficiency gone up since COVID, and I've seen our collaboration go up since COVID.
That's amazing.
We were siloed. We were all in our little offices. You'd get out of your office once a day. Now we're talking to each other on Teams 4 or 5 times a day.
It's necessary to take a step back and really engage them on a Teams call or a virtual way and really get that grease flowing a little bit there.
And for me, we call them regional equipment managers. I have field operations here in Princeton, but my regional equipment managers are all over the country. They're in LA, they're in Seattle, they're in Oakland, they're in Chicago. So I have to commute via Teams. There's no way I could manage people without Teams right now. I only have 2 people in Princeton that actually work for me. My other 12, 14, whatever regional equipment managers are based in those cities, watching the equipment flow there and optimizing that.
Makes sense. Do you see any potential negatives with going full remote? I mean, do you think that balance of a hybrid structure is important to at least have that interpersonal relationship still there and perhaps fuel those water cooler conversations?
Perfect. Yeah, I think having those water cooler conversations, having people in the same room listening to what somebody else is doing, you gain knowledge that way. I think you do miss out on a lot of that being in the office. That said, you can get around it through Teams and educational programs.